You're listening to a Roddenberry podcast.
Today is Wednesday, March 24th, 2021, and this is your daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. On today's show, William Shatner says he's never watched Star Trek because it's all painful. The Star Trek Voyager documentary finally has a name, and I'm taking you back in time for a bit of Star Trek history. I'm Alison Pitt, and today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month of counseling at betterhelp.com/DSTN. First up today, Star Trek's William Shatner doesn't watch Star Trek. Really? Shatner was speaking in an interview with People, the TV show, on Tuesday. When asked about the last time he actually watched Star Trek, the 90-year-old actor said, "I have never watched Star Trek. There are many episodes I don't know. There are some movies I don't know." He did mention that he had to watch at least one movie, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier, because he directed it. But he said it's all painful because I don't like the way I look and what I do. Now, one wonders whether he means that Captain Kirk was too well-behaved, because part of the interview was a promo for Shatner's upcoming film Senior Moment, in which he behaves in a way that is decidedly un-Kirk-like. In the movie, which also stars Trek alum Christopher Lloyd, Shatner plays an aging bad boy with a penchant for street racing. When his car gets taken away, he has to find a new way to live and love, as he learns to slow down both literally and figuratively. His love interest in the story is played by his former My Dad Says co-star, Gene Smart. Shatner is just coming off the back of his 90th birthday on Monday, where he revealed how he's preserving himself for the future with AI. And if you'd rather see him on the silver screen, his new film Senior Moment comes out in theaters and on demand this Friday, March 26th. Now, next up, it's been 13 months since producer David Zapponi announced that 455 Films would produce a Star Trek Voyager documentary. It took more than a year, but this week, Trek Movie exclusively reported that the production team have finally settled on a title for the film. The documentary will be called To the Journey, looking back at Star Trek Voyager. Now, To the Journey should be a familiar phrase to Voyager fans, and for good reason. The quote is pulled from a scene in the series finale, Endgame. In the scene, Lieutenant Reginald Barclay uses the phrase while offering a toast to the Voyager crew at a reunion party. Now, this isn't the first time 455 Films has used a series finale as inspiration for a documentary title. The 2019 Star Trek Deep Space Nine documentary, What We Left Behind, found its title in the name of DS9's finale episode, What We Leave Behind. The title was revealed as the crowdfunding campaign for the documentary heads into its final week of fundraising. After smashing the $150,000 flexible goal on the first day of the campaign, the production team added a number of stretch goals for the film. In the past week, they added 3 more goals with some lofty aims. At $900,000, they're hoping to remaster some series footage to use in the documentary. And at $1 million, they promise an exclusive, never-before-seen Voyager surprise. As of this writing, backers have already contributed more than $875,000, with 8 days left in the campaign. For more information on how to contribute, and to see details on the other available backer rewards, visit the campaign website at Indiegogo.com. Now, in just a moment, I'll be taking you back in time to find out what happened this week in Star Trek history. But first, a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is a counseling service, but it's not like a traditional one. It's similar in that you will speak to a licensed and professional therapist, and you'll get safe and private advice in a one-on-one setting. But what makes BetterHelp different is that you do it in a way that suits you at an affordable price. BetterHelp is online only, which means that when you first match with a counselor, it's through their website or mobile app. But you can also schedule phone or video sessions, and the service is available for clients worldwide, all without having to sit in a waiting room. You can start living a happier life today. And as a daily Star Trek news listener, you can get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp by visiting betterhelp.com/DSTN. And that's help, HELP. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health by visiting betterhelp.com/DSTN. That's HELP, betterhelp.com/DSTN. And a big thanks to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's show. And now, a look back into Star Trek history. It was today, March 24th, back in 1971, that Star Trek Discovery actor Tig Notaro was born. Star Trek fans will know Notaro as Commander Jet Reno, Discovery's chief engineer. But before Notaro joined Star Trek, she had, and still has, a successful career as a comedian. Notaro has several stand-up specials and television appearances to her name, including the Grammy-nominated comedy album Live, the Emmy and Grammy-nominated special Tig Notaro, Boyish Girl Interrupted, the TV show Transparent, and the semi-autobiographical series One Mississippi. She's also been vocal about her battle with breast cancer, at one point performing part of a New York set topless to show her mastectomy scars. Notaro has been married to fellow actor Stephanie Allen since 2015, and they share 2 sons. Please join me in wishing Tig Notaro a very happy 50th birthday. Tune in again next Wednesday for more Star Trek history. Well, that's it for today's daily Star Trek news from the Roddenberry Podcast Network. Don't forget to check out the other great shows on the network at podcasts.roddenberry.com. Daily Star Trek News is produced by me, Alison Pitt, with selected stories by Chris Peterson. Today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Get 10% off your first month of counseling at betterhelp.com/DSTN. I'm back tomorrow with more of the Star Trek news you need to know and the weekend's Star Trek events. I'm Alison Pitt. Live long and prosper.
This is a Roddenberry podcast. For more great podcasts, visit podcast.roddenberry.com.